We remember and honor our ancestors, praise and respect our elders. We remember and honor our ancestors, praise and respect our elders.
My name is Amanda Elliott. I'm the Executive Director for Richmond Main Street. I've been here now 4 years. Hi, this is Amanda. I am also a Richmond resident. Richmond Main Street is a nonprofit. We are a downtown revitalization program, and we've been around for 11 years now. We are a part of the National Main Street. We follow the National Main Street approach to revitalization, and that includes economic restructuring, supporting downtown businesses, building the economy through business, beautifying the downtown, also the design of the downtown, having a clean and safe initiative, also promotions and marketing of the downtown. So we have events throughout the year. Downtown Champions project is a way for us to celebrate people who've been involved in helping the downtown, business owners who've been here for years and years and remain here even through the challenges, like Joanne's Boutique here in downtown Richmond, like Bennie Singleton, who is with the National Park Service and gives tours around downtown and throughout Richmond and has so much history. And we have Janet Johnson, who also works for the city, also lives in the city, and is really a champion and has been a champion for Richmond Main Street and was really instrumental in bringing this program here. And we have Bennie Singleton, who's a wonderful volunteer and a Richmond resident and someone who just wants to give of herself to this great city, to the Iron Triangle especially, and she lives here and wants to see the city be the best that it can be.
I'm Fred Jackson and work for the Neighborhood House in North Richmond.
In memoriam, Fred Jackson, who was a longtime board member and also property owner in Richmond, a wonderful person who was a true inspiration for this city and a true humanitarian and loved by all. And we're excited to be able to honor our downtown champions and talk about the revitalization of the downtown through our community.
I came here in 1927 with my family at the age of 6. We had lost everything in the floods. The levees were bombed to save parts of New Orleans. My family lost everything. My mother came with 3 little girls and a cardboard suitcases to join her father, who was already here. I grew up in Oakland, in East Oakland. I have only been in Richmond about 10 years. This city had lots and lots of eras, starting from the period of 1941, when the entire city had a population of 23,000, and when it grew to 108,000 almost overnight. And the downtown area was alive with World War II people. Henry Kaiser's workforce, which was 98,000 people, moving in and out of the city on 3 shifts, morning, noon, and night. So the downtown that I remember was so unlike the downtown era when I had worked in Richmond, because I was here during World War II. I worked in Jim Crow Union Hall, and so that I remembered that bustling downtown city. And when I came back as a full-grown woman, mother of now 4 grown children, it had changed dramatically. The city has gone through so much transformation, and the Iron Triangle has expressed that more than any other part of the city. Now, I think it is on the edge of a renaissance. I have dreamed of this downtown area coming back, and I'm beginning to see signs of that all around. This is where the heart of the city is. This is where the historic buildings are. They're sitting, most of them, abandoned. They're ghosts. But like the Winters building, they can come back. My position with the state of California morphed into a position with the National Park Service. And as such, I got to revisit the era in which Richmond came to life between 1941 and 1945. And that was so exciting to me, and continues to be, because I know now how important the national story is as expressed from Richmond. Because in the year 2000, the legislature, in a move led by George Miller, declared Richmond as being the most appropriate place from which to tell the home front story for the nation. At that point, I had no sense that the city was even aware of how important it had become. And I got to help bring that awareness to the people, because I guide tours through the city for the National Park Service. I get to what's called interpret that history, mostly to people from outside of Richmond. Richmond hasn't yet discovered what it has. The story that most appeals to me is that Richmond has no idea that among its elders still lives that heroic generation of people who were able to follow Henry Kaiser, who was an 8th grade dropout, who had never built a ship. And he believed that he could revolutionize shipbuilding, because at that point it took 18 months to 2 years to build a single ship. And he believed that if he could be allowed to use the prefabrication techniques that Henry Ford had introduced into auto manufacturing, that he could revolutionize shipbuilding. And what he did, I think, was miraculous, in that with a working crew of former sharecroppers for the most part, and together they constructed 747 ships in 8 years and 2 months, which meant that they were building and launching a ship every other day. That's the story that I think needs to get out, and that the young people need to know what their grandparents accomplished. The thing that makes it important for me is it's going to require precisely that kind of equal mobilization in order to confront the emergency of our time. And the National Park Service has given us the tools to pass that message on to the new generation. That's what we have here.
My name is Janet Johnson. I was born in Little Rock, Arkansas. 33 years, always involved. When I moved here in 1978, my first job was in the Iron Triangle. And it was vibrant and exciting, and activities on the streets at lunchtime. I've never lived in the Iron Triangle. I've lived around it. I live in Richmond. I work in Richmond. I was working in Oakland as a banker, and I was responsible for bringing in business. So I was, looking for a place to do that, and I was introduced to a concept called the Richmond Main Street Initiative, and that inspired me to want to bring that same concept to the city of Richmond, because it was working. It was bringing people to the streets through events, promotions of those events, and community volunteers, residents, business owners, property owners, getting involved in shaping what they wanted their district to be. And I was serving as a volunteer at the city on the Economic Development Commission. So I introduced the concept of Richmond Main Street to that commission, and they liked it, and they asked me and some of the other commissioners to go down to San Diego to a Main Street conference to find out more about it and bring back more information. And that was in 1998. I was asked to meet with staff and make a presentation to the Richmond City Council. And they liked it, and they approved the funding to bring a Main Street district to downtown, and to a 5-year funding. And I was surprised when they asked me to come to manage it and to start the program in Richmond and hire the staff and set up a nonprofit. To see the energy, and it was a very good project because people volunteered to do that. And they do it because they want to change their community. So that's exciting, and it's still exciting. It's exciting to see where we are today from where we were, 12 years ago. And it was exciting that as I talked about it, people started to believe it. And within months, I had, 20 plus volunteers believe in it. And once we started that process, I found a grant opportunity from the state of California. It was called a Downtown Rebound Grant to revitalize the area with infrastructure and lighting, and submitted the request for the grant, and it was approved for $150,000. And our department had to match that money to do a comprehensive study of this district to see what would we do in terms of making it a pedestrian-friendly, walkable place with more lighting and parking and wider sidewalks. And once my senior management team realized the opportunity we had to do this, they went above and beyond what the initial plan was. And we initially were planning 10 blocks, and they said, let's just do all of McDonald Avenue. Let's just make this a comprehensive plan from San Pablo to the Parkway. And the 10 blocks became 52 blocks, which became the $585,000 study. The plan was completed in 2003 and submitted to Richmond's top city council, and they approved it in 2004 for the redevelopment agency to implement the McDonald Avenue revitalization plan, which is what you see today. And I believe right now, total, with investment from the city as well as from others, developers, probably about $22 million of investment has happened since 2004, since the plan was approved. It's just been amazing and exciting. It's been hard work, and the plan has won a lot of awards, and it's one of those things that had to happen, and it is still evolving. The initial study that we did before we did the master plan for McDonald Avenue, I worked with the University of California, the School of Urban Design and Planning, to do a baseline study for us. And it was the best baseline study that I've ever seen. That study, we used that baseline study as the basis of our McDonald Avenue plan. I didn't expect it, but I realized that that was what I was supposed to be doing. That was what I came to Richmond to do. And I honestly believe that. I believe that that is my purpose.
I was born in the Netherlands. I immigrated to the United States after World War II, and my aunt and uncle owned a store in this city. I came here with my parents. My parents bought the store, and then I started working with them. 20 years later, I bought the store. I've had the store 61 years. I can't believe it myself. I'm known for my hats. We have fabulous hats. They're handmade, most of them. They're not inexpensive, but they're lovely, and I can have them made just the way a person wants them. I love this town. I love the people that live in this town. I'm definitely a Richmond girl or woman or whatever you want to call me. I'm pro-Richmond. My day is just talking to my customers and asking them about their families, because I know most of my customers. I know their grandparents, their parents, the grandchildren, and I also check up on my customers. If they're sick, I call them or send them a card or do whatever I need to do for them. That's really important to me. I love my customers. I love the people that live in this area. We're all family. It's a big family, and I just enjoy it. My hope for downtown is that it becomes a safe city. Lots of people can mill around on the street and be happy, and we'll have some restaurants with maybe outdoor seating, maybe a nightclub, a movie theater, but we need more of that.
I can't remember if it's 1942 or 1943 that my family moved to Richmond. And I lived here all of the time except about a 9-year period I lived in Los Angeles and then back to Richmond. Richmond is my hometown. It's where I was raised. It's where I was educated. It's where I got married. It's home. When I was growing up in Richmond, the Iron Triangle was just like any place else. But now it seems that most of the lower income minorities are living in the Iron Triangle. And most of the people don't know each other and are afraid to know each other. To describe the Iron Triangle is very difficult because where I live, you wouldn't even think of it as being in the Iron Triangle, although I'm in the Iron Triangle because I live in Atchison Village. It's like a little community unto itself. But once you walk outside of Atchison Village, you're right here in the middle of the Iron Triangle, basically. And whereas it used to be, I don't know if it was not a diverse community before, but now it's diverse, lower income minorities, mostly uneducated, okay? A lot of the people, I'll say, rent. And therein, in my opinion, lies part of the problem because there's no ownership, pride of ownership in a lot of the area. It seems as though many of the children are raising themselves because they don't have parents. Grandmothers are raising the kids, and I'm a grandmother, and to me, that would be too difficult for me. And I really applaud all of the grandmothers who are doing it, but I don't see how they do it. It's just too hard. I've been involved about 10 years, 10 or 12 years. How can you not? If there's something to be done, how can you not do something? I mean, to me, it's just natural to do something. If it's broken, you think you can fix it, try to fix it. At least you put the effort out to do something.
We, as Richmond, we say we are proud of our heritage, that we need to come together. We need to realize that Richmond belongs to all of us, not the majority, the minority, or in between, but Richmond belongs to each and every one of us. And it's time for us to stop talking so much about what Martin Luther King did, what Gandhi did, and what Cesar Chavez did, and we need to live it out. And what has happened recently is not living out the dream of Martin Luther King. It's not living out the dream. So when you hear people talk about the dream and King's speech and all that kind of stuff, then turn around and do things like this, that makes you a liar and the truth is not in it, that make you a hypocrite in high places of the strongest kind. So let us love each other. If the ozone was gone, there would be no you. There would be no me. Oh yeah. Now if the ozone was gone, there would be no fish in the sea. There would be no animals roaming free. If the ozone was gone, no more good right? Hey, if the ozone was gone, there would be no trees to give their shade. There wouldn't be no fruit to be made. Am I right? If the ozone was gone, there would be no birds to sing.